this tutorial, I want to look at creating this two-piece housing, and I'm just going to do this in Synchronous technology. So we've got the dimensions all listed on here, so I'll keep flicking backwards and forwards between the parts. So I'm going to start by creating the main body of the housing here. So this is 35 wide, and we're coming sort of halfway across here, so it's 11 and 4 is 15 off from the left hand side, and it's got a diameter of 82. So I will start by creating a line and hover over the plane here. Control H takes me through to the sketch view, and then I can just draw my line in here and use a distance between dimension, which will come from here to here. As I said, this wants to be 15, and then I'll use a smart dimension to make the width 35, and I'll use a symmetric diameter to specify the diameter of the part, which was 82. So that then defines that. So as I said, it's going to be I'll revolve this, so we'll just come in. So just hover over the plane to get that coordinate system. I've got the vertical indicator on there, and likewise you'll see that this one picks up. If you don't see it, you just move over the endpoint and pick that, and we can close that off, and that creates a closed profile. So the inside area becomes blue, so we can click on there, click on the control knob of the steering wheel, and then specify that we want to go 360 degrees, and then just clicking on the torus will create that for us. As part of this, it creates a live section. Circular features are not so easy to edit in Synchronous, so the use of a live section gives us that capability, but for the moment I'm just going to turn that off. So from here, I want to create this sort of profile here, and we'll be able to see if I squash this down. We're sort of looking at this area here, so it's 76 equidistant, 88 down for this hole here, and 50 down for these. And positionally, this is going to be 23 off that center line, so off the coordinate system that we've created here. So if I just start by drawing it over the top of that plane, just hover over, you get the right mouse click option, and we want to choose this base reference plane. Control H takes me through to the sketch view, and I just need to start drawing from here, F3 to lock it, and then we can just sketch in some of the lines that we're after. So right mouse click back to start from a new position. I'll also add in the position of these holes. So these are 15 radius, so I'll draw a circle of 30. And just place them down. So if you hover over that area, you'll get the alignment there. Likewise on here. So then we can just add in some smart dimensions. 50 and 88, 80 and 88. And then this one here is 38, and then I can do the two together, and that was to be 76 to get the position of there. So escape to come out of there, then use the line command to draw the tangent signs. So if you don't come up to a key point, you can just come back here. That allows you to rotate it around to get the tangent C. And I didn't get the tangent C symbol come up on the other one. As you can see, we've got the circle on there, but not on there. So we'll just go in and add that. And then we can use the trim command and just sketch over the bits that we want to get rid of. So what you'll find is that that trim command working in that fashion will only work with the plane locked. So from here, we'll just add in 2 more dimensions. So I can place it on one and then put an equals on the others, but I'll just place the dimension there 3 times to define that. So that defines this profile here. So unlock the plane, so you can see that we're sort of mid-plane, but as I said, that needs to be 23 back. So I can come back to my sketches, select the sketch, and if I look at the design intent, I want to just turn that off because it might try and pick up off something else, and I'm only interested in changing the sketch. So I can just drop that back, 23. And as you see, we've come off of that face, so ideally I need to just create a point to close that area. Now that's gone blue, and the thickness on this is 8 millimeters, so I can click within that area and just take it in the 8 millimeters from there. So the next stage is we'll draw this piece here, so the bit sticking out on this end. So it's coming from halfway down, coming off this face. So we've got 38 here, 48 here, so it's going to be a 10 mil extension from this face here. So I just need to draw a line and F3 on that face there, and making sure you don't pick up off a key point. So I've got 2 lines to come in here. Let's just hide my PMI from what's there originally. So we go Smart Dimension and click on those 2 points there. So this is 23 mil and 5 mil. And the distance between these, as I said, is 5. And as I said, we've got the 48, 38, so it comes out 10 mil. So turn off the plane. We can then pick up off this area here and come out 10 mil. And the other one is an extra 12 mil. So that needs to come out 22. So I can click on this area here and just zoom that out. And say that wants to be 22 mil to create that. Then we've got the boss on the end, which comes off this face here. So I can do a circle by center, click on this face on the end, again, Control H. And the diameter on here is 40. So just put that in. and really I'm only interested in that top half, and I just want to take it up, so I can just click on that face there, and that projects that into there. So the next step is there's a cutout in the bottom here. So again, I can actually just draw some lines on here. So F3, and the distance on here is 26 wide. So I can just draw in the two lines, making sure that there is a point on connection on there. So you've got the cross, which indicates a point on at both ends, and then I can add dimensions in here. So 13 that way, and it's got to move the line because it's key to the coordinate system, which is immovable. So that creates my region in here, and the depth on here is 5. So again, we can rotate it around, turn off the lock plane, hit the escape key, and I can pick up on that area there and just use the default, which is subtract 5 mil, and that creates the hole in there. What I didn't want it to do was to drop it all the way through, so I've just done a Control Z, and that looks better. 5 mil gives me that little cutout in there as it's supposed to be. For my next step, I'm going to put the bosses in on the reverse side. So use the circle by center, and the diameter on these are 22. So lock the plane. Now notice that the angular plane is highlighted in green. If I go end for next, it will take it down to an orthogonal edge, so I can just lock it to that. Control H then puts it in the orthogonal mode. So 22 diameter, hover over the edge to get the center point, and that then gives me a nice easy placement. And then the holes are 10 mil. And they can be placed there. So escape out, rotate it around, unlock the plane. So I'm going to do this in one move. So click on the first area, Control, select for the second one and the third one, and the depth on these are 3. So if I just click on the arrow, type in 3. Now that's left the sort of partial hole. So I can now go in and pick on these faces. It's deleted the sketch. So again, we can just pump that right through and clear that to the other side. There is a couple of 10 mil rads on here, so we'll go to the round command and click on here, and here. Type in 10. When you hit enter, it accepts it. So hit tab if you want to just carry on selecting from there. Let's just hide our PMI once again, hide our sketches. We don't need any of those anymore. So the next step Now that we've created that, we can put our rib in. So we'll create a line on this plane here, hold still, right mouse click to get the quick pick. So that's the plane we want to draw on. Control H, and we're going from that intersection point, and the angle on here is 34.5 degrees. Make sure you get the right one. So this will be 90 plus 34.5. Gives me my point there. So that gives me something to create from. So in the thin wall drop down, you've got the rib command, and we can create our item off a chain. So we've got a 6mm wall thickness, and we want to make sure that we're projecting in, and then right mouse click to accept it. And you notice that it is going to wrap around on there, or not. So from the rib, let's go back to this rear side. We've got the curve on here. So this is 14 radius on a 38 centers with 11, 15 off of the edge there. So let's create a circle by center. Right mouse click to get the quick pick. Click on the plane there, Control H. So the diameter on this is 28. And just drop that in somewhere. Make sure you don't pick up off any of the key points. And we can then put a dimension or two on here. So as I said, this is coming from there at 15. And the distance here is 38, so it'll be 19 off the center as well. So we'll just click on here and just type in 19 and get that in. So that's our surface. It doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're going to do a revolve. It's all solid inside, so we're not too worried about that. You want to check on single or chain, doesn't really matter. Select it. That brings up the steering wheel. I'm going to go to a finite extent, grab on the control knob and click down on the axis, and then from here you want to go to the torus. Make sure that you've got symmetric on, and you want to come around 180 degrees to get that in place. So with any rotational features, that creates a live section. So we've now got a couple, and one's in that direction, one's in that direction. And you can, as I said before, you can use that if you want to modify your geometry. Now to create the internal area, we've got a 26 by 60 bore, and then we can work off the center line of this portion here, and that's a 8mm radius. So again, we can start with the line command and lock the plane. So draw a line, as I said, this is 26 mil deep. I can then also draw a circle that is 16 diameter. And if I hover over here, I can get that center point located for me already. And from there, we've got a 4 mil line coming in. Just losing some of the geometry there, so I will place that line and then put horizontal vertical on it to square it up. Then I can click on the line and type in 4 for its length, and then join the end of that line up to here. It's a bit close, so I don't want to go too close because that will create a option may not be square. So then I can do a trim corner to get that in, and then again I want to come off of here and come down to the center line, come back out to the midpoint and trim away this portion here. One thing I haven't done is place the dimensions on here. This one I know is going to be wrong because it was just an approximation, but wouldn't you know, it's the right size anyway. Based on that length there, it had to become 26. Notice it's gone blue, which means that it is a driven dimension because we're locked in on that diameter position there. We've got a 4 mil on there, so it's all defined. So like we did before, let's unlock the plane here and we can go revolve, choose chain to pick the lines we've just drawn, move the steering wheel. This time we want to go 360 and create a cutout, open profile, so it's asking which side of the profile you want to come through, and something isn't quite connected. So we can just specify to close the sketch. That doesn't work either. And a rookie mistake, I've got it on add, so we need to go cut, and that creates the cutout that we're after. So yeah, you just got to be careful on some of these things. So we've now got a cutout on the bottom here with this profile here. So I can go back to my line command, and again I can go to the same sketch plane. So we've got an area in here. So we've got a 3 mil S to go symmetric. I haven't quite got the center right, but that'll be close enough for what we're after. We want to come down at an angle and then across, likewise on the other side, and close that off. So then we have 26 diameter, I'm going to use a symmetric diameter relationship. So that's my axis, and that's my first one. So that one wants to be 26. Second one wants to be 34. And I can use my equals relationship to make them two equal. And then when I put my dimensions on here, that will then lock these in place. And distance between is probably the better dimension to go on here. Endpoint to endpoint. And this wants to be 5. And then we can then just specify that these two need to be equal as well, and that will centralize it. So like we did before, we can go back to our revolve, chain, full extent. Let's just make that a cut this time. So accept that. Zoom out so I can see the coordinate system. Let's move on to there. Click the torus. Click the direction of which we want to create the cut on. And as you can see, the live section is getting updated as we go. So you can see that that is getting sorted. So one or two more features here. We've got the 3 holes on here. They're all M3 and 11 deep on the thread, 16 on the depth of the hole. So we'll go to the hole command, rotate it around, and the first one's down the bottom here. So let's first start with the hole options and change the thread, change to M3. So we want a finite depth of 16 mil, sorry, 11 mil, and we want a V bottom, and we want that to be 8 mil. So this is going to get placed on this plane here, so we'll lock it, Control H, and that comes on this plane here. So if we zoom out, there is a specification on here somewhere that the holes are on a 70 PCD. If not, then it should be. So I'm going to just create a smart dimension from the hole to the center. And that's going to be 35. Now you need to make sure that you're going to take it in the right direction, obviously because we're tied to the coordinate system. It can only move one direction. From there we can then go and pattern that. So there's 3 holes, so I can select the hole from in here, go to my pattern command. I want a circular pattern, and I want to go to the coordinate system, and you've got the 3 holes there. So right mouse click to accept it, and then we want to create the end plate cap, whatever you want to call it. So I could do this as a separate part, or I can do this as a multi-body. So I'm going to just do a multi-body for this. So I'm going to go add body. So I'll create the two parts. You've got the option here of a part body or sheet metal body, but I want both parts. So you can see that this is grayed out now, so this is not the active body, but the other one doesn't kick in until I've created my first feature. So if I go to the line command, unlock the plane because it's still locked. So I want to go to that one, Control H. So basically it's just a mirror about this coordinate system. So what I can do is I can use the project to sketch command and just go round and pick all of these lines. And that gives me something to work with. So from here, if I escape out of there and just select all of those, I can do a mirror feature, turn off the copy, and that dumps them all on the other side for me. So from here, what I want to do is just use the line command, come in and pick up off these key points. That gives me a nice closed profile. So we go revolve, still on chain, full 360, move the steering wheel down onto that and click on the torus, and that creates our second body. So from here you can see the two bodies. The active one is shown in the yellow goldy color. Let's hide those live sections. PMI, I don't need any of that clutter. So from here we need to create a clearance hole. So we've got the hole command, and we want a general screw clearance. So we change that to an M3, and we've got a choice here of whether we want it close. So you can see the loose option is 3.6, but you can go down to 3.2 on a close fit. So we want to go through next, go OK. So if I lock on this plane, I can then recognize the other three holes that are in here, get the center points, and that creates the holes in here. And then it's just a matter of creating some rounds. You'll see that we've got them around the rib and so on. So we want to go and pick up off the first one, change that to 0.8. As I said, tab to keep within the command, otherwise we've got to keep then selecting, and we can go around and pick up off these other areas in here. So we got the bottom of the bosses and the area in here as well. So when you're finished, you just right mouse click to accept, and this, I think, basically finishes the part. We've got the two bodies. So from here, we've got the option of doing a multi-body publish. Need to save this file first. And that gives me these options in here. So it's just taking the name of the bodies that I created. Nothing's been saved yet. I also have the option of creating the assembly as well. Otherwise, it just creates the parts as separate items. So we can then go save files, and you can see it's creating a link back to the original. So from here, I can right mouse click on here and go to open, and you'll see that it has created an assembly for me with the two parts that it's created too. So hopefully you'll find a lot of good knowledge in this tutorial, and yeah, if you've got any questions, call out.